Flight boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're now listening to the Mind of an Antares Moon. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And it's early, like, I'm gonna give y'all a few formats real quick, because I'll be confused. I'll be stepping back because, see, look, I got a DSLR, but with these videos, I do it off a HD Handycam. So, it's one of them new ones, so it got the flip out. So, one thing I noticed is, I tried it yesterday with the yesterday video. I tried to disclose this part, and when I'm actually looking straight at the camera, when I flip it, I'm not looking at the camera anymore. So when I flip it now to look at the screen, I be thinking I'm looking at the camera, but I'm looking at the screen, and when I look at the camera, sometimes, if I flip it, it'll be like I'm looking at the, so it's confusing. So if it look like I'll be looking crazy sometimes, that's why. I'm trying to set y'all to understand what's going on right here with these two things right here. So when I step back, it may appear that I'm pointing at either one of them, like, you know, or it may appear that I'm looking at either one of them. And I was looking at my video, somebody brought it to my attention, like I'll be looking crazy, and I'm like, all right, man, I might have to stop using this camera and use the DSLR if it's gonna be giving me problems, just because I'm recording myself with the frame on the side. But that's here or there, you know what I'm saying? Because it ain't about how I look. It's not about that. It's about the message. And we're talking about the 8th house right now. 8th house. Now, people have a lot of misconceptions when it comes to the 8th house. So I'm going to break down what the actual 8th house is. Now, it's a Mars house, but it's a Mars with Pluto annotated around it. So Mars and Pluto is home here. You know what I'm saying? Each planet got like 2 houses. That's like your house and your grandmother's house. You know what I'm saying? And where a planet is exalted at, well, the sun and the moon don't have 2 homes. They only have 1 home. But Venus, Mercury, Jupiter, they all have 2 homes, and they have somewhere where they actually wants to be. So that's like your house and your grandmother's house you got raised up under. That's how this plays out. So right here, this is the actual Mars house. So, you know, as the first house is the I am, you know what I'm saying? The 8th house is going to be what I desire. You know what I'm saying? And it's opposite to the 2nd house, which is what I have. A lot of times the things that you have is not the things you desire. So you're supposed to appreciate and value the things you already have, and that's going to build you a springboard into the opposite house, which is the 8th house. You're able to use that to get what you desire. You know what I'm saying? Now, things that you desire is not things that's on the outside. Now, as far as the 2nd house, a lot of things what you have can be on the outside. This is why a lot of times Tauruses in general may be materialistic, or a lot of times they may be talented, so they value something that they have inside to bring it out. Now the 8th house, a lot of times you may desire to be talented, so you have to transform something in your life or come to a grips of something in your life and able to become talented. So desires is deep in there. It's something that you may not even really have to value in the first place. This is why it's the opposite house to the 2nd house. You have to teeter-totter them. You have to appreciate and value what you have in order to get what you desire. Or if you're a person who easily got what they desired in this life, you're supposed to value and appreciate things more than that. So you can balance. So your 2nd and 8th house could be a give or receive match, not a tug-of-war match. A tug-of-war match is, oh, I desire this, so I don't give a fuck about what's in front of me, or I ain't got shit in front of me, so I ain't gonna never be able to get what I really want. You know what I'm saying? That's playing a tug-of-war match, a downward spiral. You know what I'm saying? So the 8th house is desires. Now desires, once we start to break down the metaphysics of that, we know desires goes within inside. It goes within. So a lot of times we know the actual archetype of Scorpio is fixed water. We know fixed is being fixated on its own, and in this case, water. The emotions and the feelings. So this is the solid portion of the elements. Like I said, cardinal, mutable, and fixed. Let's go back to this 3 sequence I like to say with time, space, and matter. Gas, fluid, and solid. Now, right here, when it comes to cardinal, fixed, and mutable, cardinal will be the gas, will be the space. Fixed will be the matter, will be the solid. Mutable will be the fluid, will be the mutable will be the fluid, will be the time, will be the connectiveness. So right here, when we have fixed, we know fixed is the solid. So whatever element you are, if you are the fixed sign of that element, you are the solid of that element. If you are a fire sign, you are the physical fire that we can see in this realm of reality. You know what I'm saying? In one place. If you are the solid air, you are the air balloon. You are the concealed air that's dished off from other airs. You know what I'm saying? You have your own unique air bubble. You know what I'm saying? If you are fixed earth, you are the earth that is solid. You ain't the initiating shapes like Capricorn. You ain't the melting of the rocks to go into another form like Virgo. You are the stable brick. You are the building. You know what I'm saying? You are the rock, the tree that we can't move. You know what I'm saying? Virgo will be like the rock you can skip across. Capricorn will be like the archetype of what we can build, and Taurus will be what's actually built, the foundation, the tree, what you can't move, what you can physically already see. That's physical. You know what I'm saying? And then you have what we hear now as far as the 8th house, and where it represents the element of fixed water, which will be ice. It ain't the melted water that you could drink. It ain't the evaporated water that you add heat to for it to go up. And it can communicate or whatever like that. It's fixed water, so it's frozen. So here's the difference between the 3 water signs. The Cancer is the cardinal water, so it initiates, create new emotions and feelings. So it's the gas, it's the spaced element of the water. So right here, this what makes Cancers moody, because they like to initiate emotions and feelings. You know what I'm saying? This what makes Pisces very communicative. A lot of times you can't tell a Pisces between an air sign because it's the mutable water. And what's mutable water? The fluid water, the connectiveness. And also, if it was froze and it got melted with some heat, it evaporates, so it goes into the air. So that's communication. So when the water is flowing, like Pisces is the mutable water. So when it's fluid. So when it's flowing, you know what I'm saying, it's able to connect to people. And when it's get evaporated, when it's flowing, it's able to connect to people's emotions and feelings, so they're able to speak about it. And when it's evaporated, when it's added some heat to it, which is some hotness, some temperament, some anger, or some passion, or some integrity, or some intentions to do something, then that's fire added to the water. So it's going to evaporate the water. So right here with the water, it goes into the air. So this is why Pisces are able to communicate a little better than Scorpios, able to think better than Scorpios. You know what I'm saying? Now, as far as ice, you hold ice into your hand too long, it feel hot. People don't know that where I'm from, heat and coldness is the same thing. We just call it temperature. It's a temperament. So when it comes into this density and this reality, since y'all got 2 eyes and y'all see 2 lights, the temperatures become separate. So it's 2 temperatures. It's hot and cold. But where I'm from, it's just a temperature. It's just one sight, one temperature, but that's another video. Alright, now, when we get to, so, now, by Scorpios being in the 8th house being fixed water, you know what I'm saying, it's ice. So, like I said, it's so, right here, ain't no melting again. It already froze. It's froze. So, like I said, if Cancer going to initiate the emotions and feelings, and if Pisces connect with the emotions and feelings, right here, Scorpios are detached from the emotions and feelings. That's like, you fill up a cup of water, right? You put an ice cube in it. The ice cube is in the water, but it's still separate from the water. So it has its own emotions, its own feelings that's not connected with that. And it may need time and experience with the fluidness in order to melt. For an example, you have an ice cube in the water. It's going to be separate. But after so long, it's going to become the same temperature as the water, to the point that it becomes one and melt with it. This is why Scorpios need time with knowing how you is, because they may prejudge you. They need time so they can melt and open themselves up to you. You know what I'm saying? So if you got a prejudging or disjudging Scorpio around you, or you the one that's doing that's why you're doing it. You're the fixed, you're the froze, you're the solid part of your element, which is ice. You know what I'm saying? So when you're around other water, now this is why Scorpios can get along with fire signs a little better than Pisces and Cancers, because it's ice. Ice needs some heat, or need to be in the element of the same temperament of it in order to melt or evaporate. So when a Scorpio see a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, to them, that's a form of passion to them. That's a form of intention. That's a form of, okay, I can let out how I truly feel. Because see, a Aries is gonna be direct. It's the light side of Mars. So it's gonna show how it feel. And Scorpio is the dark side of Mars. It's the other side of Mars, the Mars that the light is not hitting. So you're it's going to feel the same way as an Aries, but not express it. It's going to manipulate it, see how it can make it work for its benefit. So when the Scorpio come across an Aries, it's almost like the Aries is saying and doing everything the Scorpio kind of wants to do out loud, right? And then Aries understands Scorpios because Scorpios is holding inside and keeping content everything Aries wish they could. Like a lot of times Aries wish they don't let out they science to someone else, for someone else to be able to know what they're going to do. Sometimes Aries want to be more tactful, so they can let you hang yourself. Then be like, see, I told yourself. See, but all Aries and Scorpios tip or tap with both of these elements all the time, because it's Mars. Mars is intentions, things you intend to do. So a lot of times that deals with expression. So a lot of times Scorpios and Aries can't help but to express. So Scorpios, since they don't want to express, when they do express, it comes off as intense. And Aries, sometimes they express so much, it comes off as aggressive or overly pushing their agenda without having no diplomatic or compromising skills. So you see how Mars affects the first and eighth house, but it's for a good and bad thing. Now, as far as the eighth house in general, see, you're dealing with deepness now, and it deep concealed with itself. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes out in things that you may desire. So a lot of times, like if you're frustrated or something, you're going to desire something that takes your mind off that frustration. So a lot of times it may be drugs, it may be sex, it may be life and death. You may want that person who hurt your feelings to die. You know what I'm saying? Because life and death in this house really represents like for an example, I put death to just talking about the last conversation, and put life to talking about this conversation. That's what life and death really is. Just transforming from one form to another. And when we say sex, it means the joining of two energies to present a new energy. Everything does it, planets, whatever like that. But since we're on a mundane level, on a density level, and when these energies get played out through people, and when people got programs and stuff like that these energies get played out through, as a Scorpio, a lot of them desires and a lot of life and death and sex revolves around lower density concepts, as far as life and death with person, with people, or with valuable things that you no longer feel that expression for to put life into it. So it's dead to you now, so you want to get rid of it. As far as like old mattresses, old sheets you used to sleep on with your partner, things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? You may be the type of person go burn pictures of people that you don't like no more, write letters to yourself, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. Also, this is the mysticism house too, because anything that you desire, that's a form of mysticism, because it's something that's inside you that's not out in the open yet, that's not external yet, it's internal. So you have to use a form of magic, be a form of a magician, a form of witchcraft. We all do that. These are just words describing it, and then when they put it in words and put it in languages and stuff like that, it got other programs with it. But it is what it is. When you're using the elements to formulate and manifest something, that's magic. That's witchcraft. I don't know what else to say. All that added stuff they telling y'all to add or whatever like that, that's programs under it. Get this crystal, get this rock, think about this dot, set up your room like this, set up your altar like this, set up your table like this. All that is added shit to whoever intellectual program that goes to. And we're talking about a lot of this stuff because all this stuff is tied to the eighth house. You know what I'm saying? Mysticism, astrology, anything you're in the dark about that you need to be in the light about. Things that you desire, that's in the dark. Other people don't know what you desire until you express it. When you express it, you put it into the light. You used your sun sign to express it. Now, you're going to use your sun sign to do everything on earth, because this is your tool, your bot, your earth sign, aka sun sign. This is your bot, your robot, your spaceship, your tool that you have to use. So What people see from you first is your sun. What is the sun? The light, the vitality, the energy. So people see your light, your vitality, your energy first. So when you express something, that's what people can see. You can't see if the light's not on. You can't see if the sun not up there. So your sun sign is what people can see. Your rising sign deals with what people can see too, but it's on the right side of the earth when you was born. So it's at home. So it's how you appear to be. It's how the sun look, not how the sun act. How the sun travel is your actions, the way you act. So if the sun was in whatever sign it was in when you was born, that's how you act. That's where the sun was traveling. Now, how the sun looked when it was traveling, you have to look at it from a right side perspective, from a righteous perspective, how it looked, and that's where. From a righteous perspective, here it's going to appear to look on the right side, on a directional path. So when you look at someone's chart, wherever their rising sign is on the right side of the sun. I mean the earth and the sun and the lights that's hitting you are how you appear to be. So however the sun look, yeah, we know the sun is yellow. We know the sun is bright. We know the sun is round. So wherever your rising sun is how you're going to look. Your personality, how you appear to be. Your appearance, your personal issues, how things appear to be. See what I'm saying? Then when people see how what appears to be at, that's your sun sign. And what's controlling it all is the moon. The moon is manifesting it. The moon is creating an illusion. Anytime you jump into a fluid, you're jumping into a realm. And you create that realm, you create that reality in that realm with the fluids. And you know your fluid here is your soul. You know your fluid here is your mind, your moon sign. You know your fluid here is your feelings and your emotions. You know what I'm saying? What controls your feelings and emotions and your water tides in you is your moon sign. Because we know the moon controls the tides on earth. So we know the moon controls earth tides. The mother controls the youngest daughter tides. You see what I'm saying? So you can't say I'm wrong. Because I'm giving you examples of what the shit really is. You see what I'm saying? So Mars is the cause. I mean, not Mars. The moon is the cause. The sun is the effect of the cause. But when we in this reality, the sun is the cause and the moon is the effect. Because your actions going to cause reactions from others. So your actions is going to cause reactions from others, and when you receive others' actions, you have to react. But you missed the point. In the smallest manifestation of that, you're reacting to everything. When you wake up and open your eyes, that's a reaction. You're reacting to the world you're in. So your moon sign is always going to be first on all densities. You know what I'm saying? But in this realm of reality, when you're dealing with programs and stuff, yeah, your sun sign is first. Because everything gets filtered through your sun sign. People don't know how you feel until you express it. When you express it, you show it with your light. You know what I'm saying? So the 8th house is dealing with inside, the desires, and how to melt that or evaporate that so it can start to formulate into this reality. You know what I'm saying? Because if something fixed, but it's not even fixed in this reality. See, Taurus know how to, this is why they opposites. Taurus know how to have fixed results from an external point of view, so you can see it. Scorpios only know how to have fixed realm of realities from the inside, because it's dealing with the emotions and the feelings. It's not left brain, it's right brain. So it's dealing with the inside. You know what I'm saying? So what happens here is, if you have a block or something that's frozen within the inside, it's stuck, but no one can see it either. And you only can feel it because it's heavy inside. So it has to be transformed. One form has to be transformed into another form in order for it to start movement into going, if it's going to come into density or it's going to rise higher. It's either going to come lower into density and become the Scorpio for it can see its desires, or it's going to become the ego, then the Phoenix, so it can fly off and it can desire everything spiritually. And understand it already has everything it desires inside, and it doesn't need an external desiring. You see what I'm saying? So that's like the 8th house for anyone who didn't understand the 8th house. Now I'm gonna make a separate video for planets in the 8th house, because I went on some other shit with this one. Flightboss, bitch.